Welcome to Whiskey's a Journey. My name is Peter Fasciano, and today is August 2nd, or at least the time that this is airing, which means it's the first Friday of August. So my channel segment, my First Friday Flight Fight, is going to happen just in a little bit. So before I get into it, stick around until the very end. I have my July giveaway happening. I'm going to spin the wheel and announce the July giveaway. And then I have the rules for my August giveaway to let you know about. So let's go ahead and jump into this with bottle number one, glass number one. We're going to be taking a look at Bardstown Bourbon Company. This is the Origin series. This is coming in at 6 years of age. And it's 60% corn, 36% rye, and 4% malted barley. So it's going to be a high rye bourbon. That's going to be in glass number one. Glass number two is their wheated bourbon. And their wheated bourbon is coming in at 68% corn, 20% wheat, and 12% malted barley. They're all 6 years of age, and they are all the fall 2017 distilled or release. Glass number three is their rye, and I do believe it's a 95.5 rye, so 95% rye and 5% malted barley. That's going to be in glass number three. And then we're going to move on to two of their, I think they're like special release bottles. So glass number four is going to be the Bardstown Discovery Series 8. And then last but not least, we have their Foursquare release. So this is their collaborative series. So that's going to be in glass number five. So just like always, I will be mixing these things up. And the premise of this is basically just to taste through and smell Bardstown or whatever it is that I'm doing for the first Friday and give you some notes, let you know what I think of it, and then ABB compare the flight and then rank them at the very, very end to figure out which one I like the most. If you have had any of the Bardstown, just let me know down below what you think of it. If there's a Bardstown out there that you think I should try, unfortunately, we don't get any Bardstown in Arizona. I actually traveled to California to get these. So if there's a Bardstown that you would like me to try to pick up somehow, some way, just let me know in the comments down below. All right, so I think they are sufficiently mixed up. I have them stickered on the bottom of the glass, just so I have an idea of what they are in the end. I have my water and my pad of paper off to the side, and I need to get a pencil or a pen. I got my pencil here. I'm gonna take some notes and just run through it. I'm gonna start with the glass on my left. They do smell very sweet. This has a candied red apple note. Smells very fruity, very sweet. There's a slight amount of spice here, and I would say, you know, when you throw out spices, it's easy just to default to pepper or ginger, but there's something underneath that, not quite pepper or ginger. It's kind of like a cooking spice. Whatever it is, it smells fantastic. All right, let's go ahead and move on to glass. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and taste it. So cheers, everybody. Holy cow, that is fantastic. Obviously, that's my first sip. I'm salivating like crazy. Sorry if my microphone picked that up, but that's amazing. All of those fruity notes, those sweet notes are coming through on the palate. You got red apple, a little bit of red grape, and a lot of berry notes, slight amount of chocolate as well. And when I'm saying chocolate, I wouldn't say like milk chocolate or dark chocolate. Is almost to the point where it is a powdered cacao or a powdered cocoa, something that you would mix into chocolate milk. That is absolutely fantastic. I like that one quite a bit. All right, get a little bit of a rinse here and then move on to glass number two. All right, glass two. It's a little bit muted on the nose compared to glass number one. It has a little bit of an elevated spice as well. So maybe the high rye bourbon or the rye. Pepper and ginger would be the spice that I'm getting. And I do get a little bit of dill and pine. So I'm guessing this has to be either the high rye bourbon or the rye. All right, it does smell really good. Not nearly as good as glass number one, so let's go ahead and get it on the palate. A little bit flat. Ooh, ton of pine. Yeah, there's a bunch of pine coming through there. There's a little vanilla, a little bit of a sweetness coming through. pepper and ginger spice, maybe some cooking spice, but there is more spice in this than glass number 1. And if you've been around this channel for a while, you know that there has to be a pretty good balance of sweet and spice for me to end up liking a spicier glass. So far, glass number 1 has it. Let's get a rinse. Go on to glass number 3. All right, glass number 3. Dusty. A little bit of cardboard, a little bit of wet leaves, decaying leaves, almost like the earth. A little vanilla, a little cherry, a little berry. But the main thing that I get is a little bit earthy, a little dusty, decaying leaves. A little bit of vanilla. Man, so far, glass number 1 is going to be hard to beat. All right, let's go ahead and get this one on the palate. Oh, all right, on the palate, immediately it hits with a pretty good amount of sweetness. That berry medley, the fruits, cherry, I want to say raspberry, but cherry, strawberry, red grapes, maybe some apples. Yeah, that one's very interesting. I didn't expect all of those flavors to come through on the palate based on what I was getting on the nose. I would have to put that one in second place so far. Yeah, so far these have been very good. Let's go ahead and move on to glass number 4 after a rinse. All right, glass 4. Glass 4 is definitely not as vibrant as the first 3. Maybe I just needed to roll it in the glass a little bit. Fruity, vanilla, touch of cooking spice. And when I say cooking spice, somewhere around like the Christmas cooking spice, like the anise and the cinnamon. And some fruity notes also come through. Tell you what, Bardstown smells really good. All right, let's go ahead and get it on the palate. All right, that's soft. That is vanilla ice cream, milk chocolate, maybe a slight amount of sweet tobacco. And there's a little bit of a wet cardboard or bitterness on the side of the tongue. Pretty well rounded, pretty well developed. I like that one too. All right, let's go ahead and move on to glass number 5. Roll this one in the glass before I actually smell it. So glass number 5, melon. This smells like some sort of melon, either honeydew, watermelon, cantaloupe. That funky, dusty earth note is also coming through. I think I got that on glass number 3. Yeah, not really sweet, but vanilla would be coming through if I were to be pressed on like what kind of sweetness it is. I'm not getting many fruit notes coming through. Of all of them, I think this is the least pleasant on the nose. Well, let's go ahead and get it on the palate. All right, so those are coming through vanilla, brown sugar, caramel. There is a little bit of a funky earth note coming through as well. A little bit spicy, and that spice is definitely going to be in the category of pepper, either white or black pepper. Just gut instinct at the very, just initially, I think that one is going to be my least favorite going into this. Yeah, there's just something maybe a little bit funky on that one that's just not sitting right, not very well rounded. Let me get that one more time. Yeah, that one's not really sitting right on the nose. Let's get it on the palate again. Flat cola, and not a good flat cola. The caramel is no longer there. The vanilla is still there, but there's a funky, decaying, earthy sensation happening that I'm not particularly fond of. A little bit bitter, a little bit more than bitter on the side of the tongue, and not the biggest fan of that one. So what I'm going to do now is, just off camera, I'm going to taste through these the other direction, solidify my notes, and then when I come back, hopefully I will have an order of which of these Bardstowns I like the most. We'll be right back. Alrighty, I am back, and there is a clear winner and a clear loser in this flight. I don't even think it is close. So let me go ahead and jump into my 5th place, which is going to be my glass on my right. Here's what I said after going back and forth and A-B-B comparing these things, jumping back and forth. This had a vanilla note that was good, but the more that I drank it, doesn't make a difference what I tried it against. There was a bitter note that was on the side of my tongue that I did not like at all. I guess all of the notes just did not blend well together. They weren't cohesive, and it just it threw me. So glass number 5 is going to be in my last place. Right next to it is going to be my glass that is coming in 4th place. Now, this one was a little bit strange. I was also kind of flip-flopping back and forth between this being my 3rd or my 4th. And the reason why I put this in my 4th was because it was simple. It was soft. It didn't really develop into anything. It didn't give me more than a couple of notes. And all of those notes that I got were very subdued. They didn't radiate. They didn't develop into anything. And it just fell flat compared to what I put into my 3rd place. And my 3rd place was glass number 2. This came across as sweet and spicy. I'm not a big rye fan, but I do believe the pine notes that I got were very well balanced with the vanilla notes that were coming out of the glass. It was earthy. It had that black licorice anise note that I like quite a bit. And the finish on this was quite long. It developed, it carried on, it lingered for a little bit, and each of those individual notes that I got were elevated over glass number 4. So this ended up being my 3rd place glass. My 2nd place was glass number 3. I said this was sweet, candy apple, cinnamon spice, oak, and it had a long finish. And the only reason why I put this in 2nd place over my 1st place glass was how intense the flavors were. And I think that sweet note that I was getting overpowered everything else. It was good, but this ended up being in my 2nd place just because I think it was a little bit too sweet and it masked all the other flavors that were in here. Glass number 1, I think by far ended up being my 1st place. First of all, it was the most vibrant on the nose. It had the most proof. The finish was the longest, and it had the best balance of sweet and spice. The sweet notes that I was getting out of this were berries, almost like a red Jolly Rancher, whether it was a cherry or a strawberry Jolly Rancher. Those notes kind of came through and were pretty even with the spice that I was getting. The cinnamon, the pepper, the ginger, a little bit of a licorice note came out of here as well. And as I was going back and forth, basically this had everything. It had a little bit of a sweet tobacco. It had a little bit of a chocolate note. And as it was going from the arrival to the mid palate to the finish, it just grew in intensity. And all of those individual notes that were coming out of here just sat really well with my palate for today. So that's what I ended up having. So let's go ahead and reveal what it is. Glass number 5, and that is going to be, oh, this is their bourbon. This is the Origin Series bourbon. So in last place for me, the White Label Origin Series, just 96 proof. And I ended up buying these again in California. This was $40.99. So this ends up being my 5th place glass. That's surprising. In 4th place, I ended up putting, and then this one was, oh, the Origin Series bourbon, the Origin Series wheated bourbon. Now that to me is very surprising. You can kind of tell I put a little bit of a hurting on this bottle while we were over in California. I thought this tasted a little bit better. Maybe it was just the environment that I was in, but this was $46.99, and that is in 4th place. 3rd place, I put glass number 2. This was the rye. Holy cow, I cannot believe I actually put a rye over 2 of these bourbons. That's absolutely amazing. So the rye is coming in at 96 proof, $53.99. So it looks like glass number 3 and 4 are going to be the Discovery 8 and the Foursquare collaboration. So in 2nd place, I ended up putting the Foursquare. So Foursquare collaboration Coming in second place, this one is 107 proof, which means first place was the Discovery Series 8, and there's 114.1 proof. So that proof checks out. This is a really good bottle. If and when I ever do travel out of state again to a place that has Bardstown, I am definitely going to be looking to pick Bardstown up. I really enjoy everything, with the exception of their bourbon. I don't know what was going on with that one. It just didn't sit right with me. So there you have it. Bardstown Discovery Series 8 is coming in as my first place Bardstown. Let me know in the comments down below if Bardstown is distributed in your area, if you've ever had any of them, and which one is your favorite. So if you've stuck around for this long, just let me do a little quick announcement of what's going to happen for my August giveaway before I get on to spinning the wheel for my July giveaway. This is going to be my freebie for August. If you are interested in supporting the channel, all you need to do is contribute to the channel. There's a little super thanks down at the bottom of the video. I think there's a heart with a $sign in it. You can donate any increment of $5. Every increment of $5 will get you one entry into the giveaway. You need to be 21 years of age or older, and unfortunately, this is United States participants only. I can't ship overseas. And if you are selected in the first week of September, because this giveaway is going to go all the way through August, you have the opportunity to not only get this flight automatically thrown in, you can choose 6 2-ounce samples of anything that I reviewed in August. I have to be able to verify your age somehow, some way. I do have my email address in the description for the giveaway. And then you can also DM me on Whiskey is a Journey on Instagram. So if this all interests you, and me rambling here is a little bit confusing, everything is in writing in the description below. Just go ahead and read through that. And if you have any questions about anything, just leave me a comment down below and I'll get back to you. All right, let me go ahead and clear this out of here, and then we will get on to the July giveaway winner. All right, everything is all cleared away, and this is actually a couple of days after the initial video. I just needed to let Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. to go by before I actually spun the wheel. So today is actually Thursday at around 5:18. So everyone's name is randomized on the wheel. Every entry of $5 got you one entry. Everything is in here. I've already talked to Carlos, the June giveaway. If Carlos's name pops up again, he's still gonna win, but I'm gonna spin the wheel again and select a second winner. So let's go ahead and get this wheel spun, and good luck to everybody. And again, thank you very much for the participation. Go ahead and get this going and see who wins for July. All right, CA-Scotty. Man, I was wondering if your name was going to pop up. I think the two of you, Carlos and CA-Scotty, I think both of you are doing contributions of $20. So you're taking up quite a bit of the wheel. So congratulations, CA-Scotty. Let me know what 6 2-ounce samples you want from July. Remember, you automatically get the Jack Daniel's flight as well. Email me through the email in the description below, or you can send me a direct message through Whiskey is a Journey. All right, that's all I got. Good luck for the August giveaway, and the August giveaway is going to be announced September 2nd. So if you are going to be interested in the August giveaway, every increment of $5 will get you one entry into that giveaway. September 2nd will be the drawing for that. And thank you again for everybody supporting the channel. Good luck to you next month.